We need more husbands and wives and not just baby moms and baby dads. Yeah, I said it, and let's talk about it. Two prominent black couples in the public eye got married this month. Coco Jones and her NBA player husband, Donovan Mitchell, and Jordyn Woods and her NBA-champion husband, Karl-Anthony Towns. So why is this a beautiful thing in my opinion? Because there's so many broken homes, broken families. There's so much doom and gloom and negative press about marriage. Yes, Americans are getting married older and later in life. Yes, divorce rates are high, but are people still gonna get married? Yes. You might be wondering why. For one, God created marriage. He created Adam and Eve. They were the example of humanity before, we got to the fruit and the snake. God created marriage. And so a lot of us have an inherent desire to be married. It doesn't mean that we're just going to marry any old body, but if we meet someone that is worthy enough to marry, then why not do it? Now, so marriage is a good thing. Also, why I think this is great to publicize is because there was such a time when there was so much negativity about black women on their hair, black women in their skin tone, black women in their big lips. Now everybody wants big lips. Everybody is getting tans. Everybody is wearing everyone's trying to have that curvy look. And I really want to talk about these two couples because it shows that black men love black women and black women love black men too. I'm not against interracial dating. I don't have a problem with it, but we need to stop all this fighting. There's so many gender wars and there's so many types of hate. Let's talk about love, okay? Let's talk about love. I want to ask you guys a question. Are you all pro-marriage or are you against marriage? Let me know in the comments and tell me why. I'm pro-marriage. My name is Camila Douglas. This is my channel. Please subscribe. I talk about a lot of things when it comes to trending topics, fashion, and a lot of self-help and advice. So I also want to talk about how when it comes to Coco Jones and Jordyn Woods getting married, they waited till they got a ring on their finger before they had any babies. They waited until they got married to have a child. Why? Well, you might be wondering why. If everybody's doing it, why not, jump on the bandwagon? Because no one wants to be, both of these ladies were raised in two-parent households. And also, nobody wants to be in the cycle of just going to the child support court, trying to figure out visitation with the kid. Is your kid gonna be, what type of household is your child gonna be in when, they're with their mom or when they're with their dad? Who's up in the house? When you keep it all in the family, you have more control and more stability. Let me tell you something. Every single mom that I know told me not to have a kid until I'm married. All of them. They said, don't have a kid until you're married. And the smart ones said that have a child, they said they're not having another one until they're married. So instead of learning from our own mistakes, why don't we learn from the mistakes of others and listen to their advice and really try to better ourselves and advance the black community? For example, another NBA All-Star, his name is Anthony Edwards. He plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He got married in July of this year to his longtime girlfriend. And he does have a lot of kids. He has a few baby mothers. I think he probably has 4 or 5 kids. But you know what? It's better late than never. It's never too late to change your habits. Maybe Anthony Edwards went from darkness to light. He's been with this lady for a long time apparently. And like I said earlier, he realized that, hey, this is someone that I can see myself with for the rest of my life. I want to build with her. I want to have more stability in my life. Because I really think with Anthony Edwards, his last baby mom really whacked him. He probably learned his lesson with her because she is, she's not really hiding the fact that she's a gold digger. And I do think both of them were wrong in that situation, because if you don't want a kid, you need to use protection. And on his end and on her end, you don't have kids for child support checks, because she was trying to play all these games in the child support court and it didn't turn out the way she wanted. Ultimately, I hope the baby is okay and, you know, she can grow up in just with some sort of normalcy and not necessarily their parents hating each other. So I don't want you guys to take my word for it. Let's go down to the facts, because there is health, societal, and familial benefits to marriage. So on average, husbands and wives are healthier, happier, and enjoy longer lives than those that are not married. Of course, men appear to reap the most physical benefits from marriage and suffer the greatest health consequences if they divorce. Now, we all know that women, we are caretakers. We will upgrade a man. We will tell him, hey, make sure you drink some water, you know, make sure we'll keep them right, okay? Make sure they change it. The doctor says, hey, you have high cholesterol. The wife is gonna be like, put that red meat down. We're not eating steak today. We're gonna eat some salmon. So let's talk about marriage and wealth. Married couples build more wealth on average than single or cohabitating couples. Because you know why? Over time, they buy a house together. That's, you know, building wealth. They have tax benefits. They also might have shared inheritances. You know, it's not just like, you know, this is mine and this is yours. When someone passes away in the marriage, that is definitely going to go to the spouse, depending on the state, if it's in the will, because there is such a thing as probate court. So I really want you to, if you're cohabitating, I want you to think if this situation is really what you want long term. If you don't want to get married, that's okay. This message isn't for you. But for those of you who do want to get married, think about this, because in my opinion, baby mama is a modern day concubine. For those of you that don't know, concubines in ancient times were wives of lesser status. That is what a baby mother is. She doesn't have any tax benefits. She doesn't have any sort of benefits to the estate. Like if she wants something to happen and the husband isn't really doing it, she got to go down to the court. Now, I think that being a baby mom is not the end of the world. This is not a baby mom, baby dad bashing type of video. Like I said with Anthony Edwards, you can learn from past behavior. Now, if you just want to be trifling and have a bunch of kids all over the place, then let me know how that's working for you and the type of consequences that you reap and the type of effects that it's going to have psychologically and emotionally on your children. Let me know how it works out for you long term. Because did you know that in nursing homes, majority of the time, the old men that are in nursing homes who treated their families like crap, their wives, their big moms, their children, those are the ones that have no one to come visit them. So I want you to really think long and hard before you just go off making babies with any old body. Oh, so on that note, let's talk about marriage and children. Children raised by their own married mother and father are less likely to be poor or experience persistent economic insecurity. They're less vulnerable to serious emotional illness, depression, and suicide. And they're more likely to have positive attitudes towards marriage and greater success in forming lasting marriages. Now, I'm not sure about Donovan Mitchell, but I know, like I said earlier, with Coco and Jordyn, both of their parents were married. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm not sure about Donovan Mitchell. When it comes to marriage and crime / domestic violence, married women are at a lower risk for domestic violence than women in cohabitating or dating relationships. I said low, it says lower risk. It doesn't mean no risk. Of course, there's married women that have been in DV relationships, but that is not the case for everybody. So, boys raised in single-parent homes are more likely to engage in criminal and delinquent behavior than those raised by two married biological parents. Why, if any of you are from the hood, from the ghetto, from the inner city, you know, from the trenches, why do you think there's so many organizations that are trying to help, you know, us people out there? Because they don't want these kids and these young people to become statistics. And even if you were a negative statistic, they want you guys to do better in life. Like, for example, there's the Urban League. There's so many, like, I guess you can say Christian or faith-based organizations. There's people that do back to school drives, donations. You don't really see no back to school drives in these rich, affluent neighborhoods. They're in the lower income neighborhoods, because they're trying, for one, they know that lower income tends to be, you know, less marriages. But in this country, I can't speak for everywhere else, but also they're trying not to perpetuate the generational curses. Some of y'all need to get out of these generational curses. Don't follow these celebrities. Don't follow what Cardi B does. It works for her. It's probably not going to work for you the way you think it might. So let's talk about marriage and society. Being married changes people's lifestyle and habits in ways that are personally and socially beneficial. Marriage generates social capital. And that's all I have on that for now. I hope you guys took a lot away from this video. Now, are you guys happy to see Black love, Black matrimony, Black women in love with Black men and vice versa? Or are you guys just like, it is what it is? Now, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment down below. Do you guys think it's better to get married before having kids and starting a family? Or do you think it doesn't matter and all of this is a societal construct? I want to know your opinions, and like this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.